Just leave us a hi on the chat in case you're here. Just let us know you've joined. And also quickly introduce yourself as well. Hi, Kalyani. Hi, Sandeep. Hi, Sarabjeet. Just let us know your city you're joining in as well, along with your name. Okay. Everyone else who's joining in. Yeah. Hi, Riaz. It's glad to see you. Yeah, we're also live on YouTube. So in case you're joining us on YouTube, just leave us a hi there. People who are joining in right now, just quickly introduce yourself on the chat here on Zoom. Shastri, good evening to you as well. Let us know your name and the city that you're from. Hi, Shalini. Yeah, yes. Give us your names because we only have your email IDs. It's hard to keep track of who you are. So maybe just leave your name and the city, right? Right. Okay. Okay. So while you guys join, let me just take you through what we're going to cover today. We're actually going to help you understand how Uber and Netflix were built. You're going to think like a product manager today in this product teardown masterclass. And we've got Suryansh, who will take you through the session. We've also got Nathan from UCSD Division of Extended Studies. So we've got both of them. I'll introduce them to you shortly. So what we're going to do is, along with helping you understand what went behind Uber and Netflix when these products were built, we'll also help you understand how you can become a product manager and how the AI-powered product management program helps you in this journey. What the modules are, what kind of learning experience you have. And also along with that, we're also going to explain the enrollment steps. And towards the end, we'll take the questions, right? So I know you might have a lot of questions to ask during the session. Please use the Q&A box to raise any of these. And remember, the session is going to be really interactive. So it's not going to be one way where, you're just listening to Suryansh and Nathan talk. It's going to be interactive. So make sure you engage on the chat as well and, respond to the questions that are being asked to you. Right. So with that, let me see if any more introductions have come in. Aishwarya, hi, nice to have you. Adyasha, if I'm reading your name correctly, nice to have you here. Okay, yes, someone from Botswana. Great, great, great. So I hope you know where the Q&A box is. Remember, the chat box is separate. If you put your questions there, we might miss your questions. So please ensure you've put your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll take them towards the end. But as and when relevant, if I find a question that's relevant to what is being discussed, I'll raise that with the speakers. Okay, so that's going to be the agenda for today. It's going to be a long session. If you want to take notes, please keep a notepad ready as well. Yeah, and also make sure that you stay till the end. There are just a couple of giveaways that I would like to share, but those will be revealed towards the end. And just a quick note, this session is being recorded, but what I suggest is you stay till the end, take the maximum out of the session, but we'll share the recording, and along with that, we'll also share a webinar certificate in the next 24 hours. Okay, right? So if these ground rules are clear, let's just jump right in and get some more introduction, some more understanding of what you do. So just leave your responses on the poll that I'm about to launch. Here you go. Let us know what your professional background is, what your current role is, and how much work experience you carry. Because this will be useful for us to understand you a little better. Great. Kalyani, thanks so much for sharing all the info, but I will do this towards the end either way. Let's also not keep posting messages on the chat. The other learners might get distracted. Yeah. Yeah. But it's glad that you're really enthusiastic and, ready to learn. And you're also passionate about joining the course, which is great. but let's not send too many notifications to people listening to the session. Yeah. So I'll keep the poll live for another 10 seconds, and then I'll share these results we want to see. Great. Yog Sari, nice to see that you are a software engineer, want to transition to becoming a product manager. Okay. Right. Okay. Here you go. I'm just going to end the poll right here and share these results. So Nathan, Suryansh, I hope you're able to see these results. A lot of people carry, a third of them have more than 10 years of experience. A third of them are freshers. I hope you're able to see the results. Yeah. Okay. That's great. All right. All right. People on YouTube, also please share your responses on the live chat. And also, if you have questions, please interact with us on the live chat. I'll pass them on, as and when I get the opportunity. Okay, great. With this, let me just quickly introduce Simplylearn to you guys. How many of you have attended a webinar with us before? A quick yes or a no on the chat. Okay, Riaz, yes. Oh, okay. A lot of them have. Okay. First time. All right. Just one person. Okay. What about the others? Okay. First time, Adyasha, first time. Okay. Okay. KP, first time. All right. Okay. Okay. So mixed bag again. Right. So just to help you understand what we do, what Simplylearn does. So we offer courses, certifications in various domains, being AI, machine learning, agile and scrum, project management. We also have courses in business analytics, in cloud computing, cybersecurity, and of course, product management as well, and a few other courses, for business managers, business leaders as well. So we launched these courses. We've got a lot of courses in partnership with leading organizations across the world, UCSD being one of them. We've also got partnerships with, organizations like AWS, Microsoft, PeopleCert, PMI, for our certification courses as well. So you can check out our portfolio of courses on simplylearn.com. And today in particular, what we'll be talking about is the AI-powered product management professional program. So we'll also help you understand how this really helps you in transitioning to becoming a product manager. But just a quick overview, what it helps you with is how you can leverage AI in product management. We really take, new technologies really seriously. So all our courses have Gen AI components integrated in them, right? So you learn more than 20 plus essential tools for a product manager to know, and of course, Gen AI being one of them. And as a part of the course, along with the live sessions, you've got multiple workshops and academic masterclasses as well. So the program is about 20 weeks long, and more about the program, we'll just talk about in a bit, right? So I'm just going to introduce our speakers finally. I know you're all ready to start, then, learn about Uber and Netflix today. So I'm just going to quickly introduce Nathan to you, who is the Associate Director of Strategic Initiatives at UCSD Division of Extended Studies. And he's been with Division of Extended Studies since 2001, working in a variety of roles. He's also an alumnus of UCSD, 1995 alum. Welcome, Nathan. It's nice to have you. I'll just let you introduce yourself, and then we'll carry on with the session.
Great, thanks, Aparna, and thank you to everybody for tuning in today to hear more about this product management teardown and the course that we offer in partnership with Simplylearn. So as Aparna mentioned, I have been with UC San Diego for quite a number of years. Much of my time has been involved in innovation and entrepreneurship programs, which include a heavy element of product development and product management. And then more recently, I have been working with our corporate education and custom training team, which also oversees many of our strategic partnerships, including this one with Simplylearn. So I am happy to be here today and happy to share this exciting course with all of you. As far as UC San Diego itself, if you're not familiar with the university, we are part of the University of California system, which is the largest public university system in the United States. UC San Diego itself was founded in 1960 and has been ranked as one of the top universities founded after the Second World War here in the US. It is also a major research university with almost $2 billion in R&D taking place every year, which results in a lot of new technologies coming out of the university and being commercialized. We have a pretty strong environment for startups and generating a lot of economic impact in both the local region and nationally. The Division of Extended Studies, which is the professional and continuing education arm of the university, which is where I am at, was founded in 1966. And we offer a huge number of courses and certificate programs to those looking to fill additional skill gaps that they might have, whether it's for personal growth reasons or for professional development reasons, help them either get a promotion in their job or transition to a different career or just learn something new. So we are happy to work with Simplylearn on this course. It's obviously a really important function within a company to develop new products and do it the right way so that customers get the products that they actually find useful and are willing to pay for. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that, I'll turn it back to you.
Great. Thanks, Nathan, for that introduction. So like I said, people, if you have questions to ask, please make sure you use the Q&A box. And yeah, so I already have a lot of them. In case you've got tiny messages to send, please use the chat box. Kalyani, like I said, please don't flood the Q&A box with small messages because it just distracts the other learners as well. With that, let me introduce Suryansh, who's going to be taking you through the session as well. Suryansh has been a former product owner at Accenture, and he's headed multiple product teams in industries like the tech and also the ed tech sector. He's also a trainer with us at Simplylearn for our product management courses. He's also an entrepreneur and has built several products. He's got a lot of experience in product trainings as well. So which is why I'm sure you're going to enjoy this session. So Suryansh, over to you. I'll let you introduce yourself. And I think
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aparna. Good evening, learners. Suryansh this side. I'm joining from Delhi, and we'll also see which all places you are joining from. I've been associated with Simplylearn for the past, I think, 4 years. I'm known in Simplylearn for conducting hands-on training, which we're going to see today itself. All right. So, learners, today's session, it may be a webinar wherein we all are joining virtually, but I would strongly request you all to be ready with a pen and a paper and be super active on the chat box. All right, because lots and lots of questions we're going to discuss together. We're going to have a lot of whiteboarding done today, wherein your inputs will actually drive the session. I'll be simply acting as a mere facilitator. All right. So, Aparna, over to you.
Right, great. Thanks, Suryansh, for that introduction. I think we're ready to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to understand how these amazing apps are built. And I think over to you, Suryansh. I'll just stop, sharing my screen. I think I'll let
Okay.
you.
Thanks a lot, Aparna. Learners, quick question for you. Actually, I'm also doing, joining from my pad. So I'll just open a small whiteboard and quickly answer in the chat box. How many of you use Uber? Uber, Ola, Rapido, what app do you use? Hurry up. Just let me know in the chat box over here. Quick. Let's see how many answers are we getting. Uber, Ola, Rapido. Okay, so we've got Riaz with Uber. Hurry up, learners. Let's say, okay, and Patao, Ola, Uber, Rapido. Can we have a look at more answers over here? Uber, it's great. I use all the cab bookings. Ola, what Lyft? Okay, Lyft. All right. Okay, great. Now, learners, since you've been using Uber and more or less what do you say, uh, the journey itself of booking a cab is more or less similar. Let me ask you a very, very simple question. All right. I want you all to quickly open your app. Just open Uber on your phone. That's it, nothing else. Just open Uber and quickly start speaking while you're looking at the app. What all features do you see on Uber app? For example, Aparna, let's say we have got I can have cab booking. That's one feature. All right. So hurry up, start answering. Start answering. What all features do you see on Uber, okay.
Uber, someone says Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. We'll talk of the Uber app. We'll
Yeah.
talk of the, okay, so we have got something known as courier, we have got something known as motor. What else have we got? We have
Car
got
type.
options for car types. That's great. Hurry up, learners. Sorry for my bad handwriting. It's been like this since I started writing. So we have got map interface, where to, we have an option of reserve, we have got map interface, and what else? We have got intercity. Great. What else? What else? What else? Hurry up. Auto rides. That's
Auto
great. We've
rides.
got auto rides. What else? So look more apart from the ride booking feature. Maybe you have an option of canceling a cab, right? You have an option in which you can cancel. Past activity. Good answer. Who was this past activity? All right. We've got past activity. Pick and where to transit as well. Okay. Transit. You've got teens. Great. Anyone else would like to add on with something else?
I'm also doing this while I speak.
Cancel time. Okay, safety, cancel time. All right. Now hold on. Now, just quickly use a pen and a paper, or maybe you can write it in the chat box. Hold on. We'll go to the next step because learners, remember, we've got two apps to cover today. All right. The question for you is, could you tell me in very simple words, a user journey of any user, let's say, who is trying to book an Uber. Let's say it's morning 8:30 and you're staying at, let's say, Whitefield in Bangalore. You'd like to book a cab to go to your office in, let's say, Domlur, or let's say you are going to Manyata Tech Park, or maybe you're staying at Delhi and you like to go to Gurgaon Cyber Hub for your office. So just quickly write down in the chat box, learners, what's the user's journey. For example, a user, anyone can say, would first enter destination. All right, they've entered destination. Now, what happens after you've entered the destination, learners? What happens? You've entered the destination. So Uber says where you want to go. Okay, you enter the destination. That's great. Next, what happens? Once you've chosen the destination, what else? Yes, Kalyani, we have chosen the destination we would like to go. Pickup point. That's great. So we say we'll pick, have the pickup point. Great. Location. That's what destination. Time. Okay,
Yeah.
so time. Okay, so let's say we have it now. Pick up charges. Great. So then you are told about the charges. Then what do, learners? Time to, so you're told the ETA as well. Great. Now what happens? Yes, now you're told about the driver plus cab availability. Which one is available? Great. What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's say now the cab is here. Now what do you do? Cab is here. What do you do? Driver ratings also you get to know. That's great. What else? Pin code. So you get to go to, okay, there at the pickup point, then you enter the pin and then your journey starts.
Yeah.
Right? That's a very simple journey of any user going through, let's say, maybe using Uber app on a daily basis. All right. Now, next question for you learners is, we have done the journey of using the app. All right. Now the journey has started. Great. Could you tell me, learners, while you are in a Uber app, now you are you're inside the cab, you're going to a destination. Okay, now we are using Uber while transit. Let's say we are on the way to office. So what all activities you do in the car? Let's say you check your phone. All right, what else do you do? Go ahead, tell me. You check your phone, or maybe you talk to someone on call. Great. Well, listen to music. Great. What else you do? Check mail. Great. What else you do? You call. Okay, you check mails, you sleep. Good. Seeing
Someone speaks
sometimes
to
that, speak to the driver. Excellent answer. You talk to the driver. Great. If anyone can answer me, what exactly do you talk to the driver? Anyone? Let's say you can ask the driver to increase or decrease AC. You can ask how much time. What else do you ask the driver? Okay, someone said I'll watch outside the car. Great. WhatsApp information. Okay. If I'm not a localite, okay, so you'll know more about the area. Okay. Where to eat. Great. I think these are conversations you'll have once you are dealing with the driver, and at the end, you go ahead and pay your amount. Now, learners, quick question for you. Quick question. This is something where we are at because we all use Uber, we have straightaway answers. The question for you is, while you are using Uber, all right, while let's say you decide to use Uber, I need you now to start telling me, what problems do you face while using Uber? For example, one thing can be wait time too long. Go ahead. Now tell me. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. What problems you face? Well, surge pricing, excellent. So we've got surge pricing. What else? Charges or GPS track and delay. Okay. Someone said safety. What else? Charges. Okay, we have covered. Okay, what else? What else? What else? GPS tracking. Okay, exact tracking of the location. What else? Okay, that's great. Aparna, someone is saying no battery. Okay. Route may be a problem. Okay, what else? Driver pushed out in Delhi, refusing to. Okay, excellent. So you've got cancellations, you've got quarrels with driver. Okay, what else? What else are we looking at? Cancellation, great. We have covered cancellation. Anyone else? No option to call driver directly. Okay, so you've got, routing in calling. Okay, I use because it comes to me and says I use Uber because it. Okay, driver asked to cancel. Okay, driver says cancel. Okay, no room for luggage. That's good. So luggage room is missing. Great. What else? What else? What address not found? Okay, address not found. Anyone else got any other information on how do you proceed or some of the problems that you face while working with while using Uber? Personally, I face a very big problem in Delhi and Gurgaon. It's pretty hot, so I need to keep reminding driver, please switch on the AC at full fan speed.
Yeah.
All right. So driver not pick the call. All right. Anyone else? In case cancel next. Okay. Think more. Let's say another scenario. This thing really happened with me once. I booked Uber for a morning flight. The person was near my house and suddenly the person stopped. He knows that the ride will drop to the airport. All right. After 5 minutes of stopping, I called him. Hey, what's wrong? He said, sir, I'm having tea. I said, my flight is waiting. And he says, I'm having tea. Again, it was a high priority, what do you say, cab booking. So I cancelled, immediately booked the other one. Drivers asking extra. Okay. Sometimes drivers ask extra. Okay. What else? What else? You say weather, network issues. All right. Now, learners, we've got enough and more problems when we, talk of, let's say, Uber as a whole when we are using. Let's narrow down. Let's narrow down. I'll write a question. All right, Aparna, let's see if they're able to make it. I'll write a question over here, my handwriting, please. And then you'll start giving me solutions on how to solve that problem. All right. The situation of the problem over here is you need to make drivers reach the correct location
Mhm.
for pickup. All right, learners.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And as product managers, please tell me how you gonna make it happen. Right now, it happens is your location is shared. You can say that I'm standing at the location and driver is somewhere there. Then you wave and then you show him a light that Uber has. Say, I'm standing over here. Why don't you come over here? Or maybe the driver says, I'm at the location only, but you're not there. So how do you solve this problem? The last mile driver pickup point.
Yeah. Can we have responses
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
on the
Let's
chat?
see who can think of a way wherein correct landmarks. Excellent answer. So Suryansh, you're saying that we can have landmarks. Good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Landmarks. Okay. Okay. Of
More answers. More answers.
exact locations. How do you do that, Kalyani? How do you get the exact locations?
Put the street names.
Street names. Okay. So we've got
Street
street
names on the
names,
map.
exact address also. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Provide nearby landmark. Okay, done. Landmarks are done. What else? How else?
How else are we doing this? Okay. Okay. Option to send a voice note to the
It's already
driver.
there. It's already there. I think voice or I think chat is there. Okay, so we'll have voice note. Sorry, we'll have a voice note option. Who else send hotel landmark? Great. We've done hotel landmark live location. That's good.
That's already there. Yeah. Which is also already
Okay.
there.
Call to driver. Okay, driver you call. Okay, share location. Learners, think more, think more. How else can you do? You have the Uber app with you. You have the Uber app with you, and this app is what am I wearing to spot me? Okay. Okay. Good. So you give some kind of references. That's good. Color of the dress, and you give the references. Okay. Or I just thought of it this way. How's name? Let's say Aparna is booking a cab and I'm the Uber driver who would like to come for pickup. All right. Now Aparna says, Suryansh, I'm there at the location. You're not there. right? One way of doing that is Uber already has an option of calling, right? If I can do a video call to Aparna and then I can show around, hey Aparna, I'm standing at this place now, where should I go? Now
Yeah.
seeing that, Aparna can say, hey, you're very close to the location, just take a left and I'll be standing over there. So maybe giving an option to the driver or to Aparna to switch to video call, wherein they can know where the other person is, and then they can drive. Or maybe Aparna says, okay, you stand there, I'll just quickly walk and come over because you're gonna enter a wrong street. All right, good. So now, learners, the driver has managed to reach the right place. Okay, the question for you next is, how do you do this? How do you avoid drivers canceling the cab? How do you do that? Beep features. That's right. That's right. Another good answer over here. Something like a beep feature.
Yeah.
Request him. Okay, Samyak saying request him. Samyak, maybe use some kind of a feature from the app that you can add wherein monetary incentive. Okay, so you're saying, incentivize him. Okay, think more. How do you ensure that Uber, for example, Blue Smart does not give drivers an option to cancel? Although the company only got cancelled, that's a different story. But Blue Smart did not have an option for drivers to cancel. That's how they avoided cancellation. Prepay, that's good. So once you have already prepaid, then he's bound to come. Okay, good. Ask the driver to cancel a delivery order. Cash pay, excellent. So you incentivize using cash payment methods. Okay. How else, learners? You say that, Suryansh, if we guarantee to tip. Okay. What else? Charge, penalty. Okay. Punishment, some kind of a thing. Great. What else? Tips. Okay. You need to do this, learners. Think from a perspective that if you own the Uber app, how do you ensure that driver does not cancel? Think about it this way. How do you do that more? Report to Uber, that's right. What else? Be on time, okay? Okay. We're saying I can report to Uber that the driver is canceling. What else? Allow, excellent. So you're saying that you allow the driver to cancel, but you give him a limit. Who said this? I think
Yogurt.
Yogsari has mentioned. That's good. That limit cancellations. You can cancel, but 3 rides cancel and you're good. Okay, good. What else?
Cancellation requires OTP. We had that answer from Sajid.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So you need OTP for cancellation, and if the driver, if the I would like to give, the ride cannot get cancelled. Good. Wow. One more answer, learners, that I thought was, let's have. How many of you are aware that Uber has launched its loyalty plan in India? Anyone aware? Yes, no. Uber has launched its own loyalty plan in India. Right. Okay. So, Yoksari, they've launched their own loyalty plan in India. Now, can the app have a feature which says if you are a loyalty customer, no matter what, you are guaranteed a cab? Or same thing can be reversed. If you are a loyal driver, all right, that means you get paid more. Now, to reach that loyal driver tag, you need to have no cancellation. So let's say if I don't cancel, I reach the title of a loyal driver. And if I'm a loyal driver, I can command higher money from customers because I guarantee you 100% delivery of the cab. Added this loyal driver point. Okay, good. It also depend on the customer. All right, learners, I'll give you more and more opportunities. Think more, think more. You know what? You can use some kind of a feature from, let's say, Uber app, something you want to add. If you feel that, Suryansh, I can't think of a feature, think of a business objective. Someone said, punishing him or giving him more money or giving tips. So think from all perspectives because, being a product owner, you play a role in ensuring that business objectives are met, right? Uber is just a platform who is there to make money for the Uber company. That thing could have been done through WhatsApp, it could have been done through emails, through phone calls, everything. Anything could be done, right? But an app is more scalable, it is more user friendly. Therefore, a product owner was made who will own the product, and then the entire business objective of having your cabs at doorstep is achieved. All right, so you can think from both. Even you could think from a marketing perspective of an also. Let's say, if you would like to avoid cancellations, you can market it in such a way that book a cab in advance to avoid 100%, to have 0% chance of cancellation. That's right, someone mentioned special destinations do not allow cancellations. Good answer. So we have got non, for example, hospitals, airport. That's right, Yogsari, good answer. All right, learners, good, you're catching up very fast, because here we go with the next set of problem for you. And the next step is, let's see, who can think of it. It's gonna get a little difficult, learners. All right. Now, I don't know. It's more of Aparna, more of a human nature thing. But let's see how our budding product owners can take this up. All right, learners. The question over here is: avoid quarrels between driver and user. Let's say today, Aparna, again, I'll be your Uber driver, and we start having quarrels. You say, Suryansh, why is the air conditioner off? I said, ma'am, it consumes more gas, so I can't keep it on 4. Aparna says, hey, Suryansh, I'm paying you that much money, and then the quarrel begins. Okay, so how do you avoid this kind of a situation? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, your responses on the chat, please.
Talking with a friendly manner. Learners, hold on. You're the product manager. You need to explain it to the users to do it. All right, that's a very good answer. Talk in a friendly manner and something. You do that. But the question over here is, okay, feedback after journey. Okay, the question over here is, could be a possibility to sell driving cars. Could be a possibility you need to tell me. You figure out first, I'm giving you hint, learners. Figure out first what could be the reasons behind those quarrels. If those reasons are already taken into consideration, can the quarrels be reduced? For example, Aparna says, I like to have AC at full speed, and I am someone who will not let that happen. Then I'll not get booked for Aparna's request. It's simple. Or if Aparna says, I do not like to have a talkative driver, just leave me alone. So I'm already aware on my Uber driver app that Aparna would like to be left alone. So I'll not initiate any kind of conversations. So think about it. Think about it, learners. How do you make it happen? Excellent. So Ritesh is saying that
Show on
every user has do's and don'ts for a user. Okay. Passenger
passenger.
preferences. That's great. So you can note down the preferences of passengers. Good. What else? Kalyani, explain more on the charges part. Background investigations. Okay, so they can give you a more detailed view of how the driver is. Okay, what else?
Anything
How do
else?
you, anything else?
Yeah, driver's bio.
Okay, so driver's bio, so that you're well aware whom with you're traveling. Incentive for good behavior. Good answer, Yogsari. So you're saying that incentivize good behavior to drivers. Great. Any more answers? Any more answers?
Yeah. Disha, we're trying to solve exactly that. So we want to solve.
Okay, that's good. Sometime, driver asking personal details. So drivers should be told to completely avoid personal questions. Okay. Okay. Now, learners, here's a question. Aparna, let's see what these learners would like to have to say.
Yes.
Do you think that there should be some kind of a training for drivers? Maybe a soft skills training on how to become a polite or how to get good rating kind of a thing. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Let's see how many of you are able to do that.
Lot.
Yes, yes, yes. Someone training is must. Okay, people are saying that yes, Suryansh, training should be there. Okay, okay. Perfect. Because now if your driver is a trained driver, okay, all these things you mentioned, annual certificates on training. Good. Learners, there's also called something known as a fitness certificate that is given to all cars. I think annually or biannually they have to get it charged. So something like the certificate someone has mentioned. Learners, a difficult question now. That difficult question is, see, you can identify the feedback. Let's say Aparna has given 5-star rating or 4-star rating. All right. Aparna can also give tips. Could be a possibility. This is what happens as of now with Uber. My question for you is, how do you identify? Aparna says, calls Uber Nathan and says, "Hey Nathan, the driver that Uber that you guys gave me, Suryansh, was driving rash." Now Nathan calls me and says, "Suryansh, you've been to rash driving?" I said, "Nathan, speed limit is 60. We are going at 65, 70. Now, what exactly do you mean by rash driving?" Aparna feels it was rash. Suryansh as a driver saying it's not rash. Now Nathan can't completely take side of any one stakeholder. This is where, learners, your next question, a little difficult one, is how will you identify rash driving? How would you identify as Uber? How will you identify that the driving experience for Aparna was harsh? Wrong routes. Speed. Okay, great. So I'll take speed as an answer for sure, Aparna. All right. So speeding can be a part of rash driving. Great. Think more, learners. How do you identify whether it's rash driving? Yes, arguing, you
Finding
mentioned clearly defined matrix, but what are those matrix and how will you measure those matrix? Okay, difficult to train and training. Left overtaking, bumps. Okay, how would you identify bumps? That's the question, Yuksari. That's a good answer. Meenakshi, left overtaking is another right answer. But how will you identify whether bumps were there, whether left overtaking happened? Excellent. So Yogeshwari is saying, Suryansh, speed fluctuations are often and drastic. Then yes, this could mean one of the factors for rash driving. That means, let's say Suryansh is braking too often. All
So
right.
another interesting point is difference between the
Between.
original estimated time
Excellent. So we are looking at original
time.
and estimate. If there is a huge difference, then yes, obviously overspeeding and all. Security video cams, good answer. So you mean to say
Pairing
video
up.
cameras in every car.
Yeah.
Great. CC camera useful. Using wrong gears. Meenakshi, good answer. But how will you get this data? Nathan can say, Suryansh, you are driving at second gear at 80 kilometers per hour. How uncomfortable it is for everyone in the car. I can say, Nathan, I think it was fifth gear as far as I can remember. How can I drive on second gear? Now, how will Nathan get to know all the car related data? Can anyone go ahead and answer on those parameters? Bumps. How will you identify bumps? How will you identify wrong gear? Let's see if you can think. And how many if you can identify, what do you say, going fast on turns or overtaking, let's say, on the left side? How do you identify these kind of situations? SOS button, okay? Aparna says, I have had enough. I'm just going to press the SOS button and thank you. Could there be installable ECU mods? What are ECU mods? ECU mods, what are those?
Someone like car. Okay. Hmm.
Sensors, GPS, dash cams. Okay, so you can say dash cams are one. Okay, with edges to capture data about right quality. Okay, learners, anyone else would like to pitch in? Okay. All right, so we're getting which captures right quality. Great. Now, learners, everyone I think is aware that if I am a Uber driver and I am using GPS, obviously, to go to my current destination, there are lots and lots of things that GPS can measure. It not only measures your, let's say, speed at which you're going, whether you're overspeeding or whether you're following the right route. There are other things that can be measured using that particular maps app. Someone rightly mentioned that, Suryansh, too many fluctuations, they might lead to what is kind of an overspeeding. Someone mentioned that, Suryansh, speed limits being breached again can be done using GPS. Can I even tell, how will you identify bumps? How do you identify bumps? If I give you an opportunity to identify bumps in a ride, how will you identify? Will you make changes in the Uber app? Or what do you think you can use to identify bumps? Calculations. Yogeshri, what kind of calculations? Average of speed. Okay, so if you feel that, let's say you're driving and suddenly speed 60 comes down, then again comes down. So that means you're having too many bumps. Okay, makes sense. Now, learners, the question was, how will you identify whether the driver was riding slow or fast on speed breakers or on some kind of potholes? So Yogsari has mentioned that that's how we come to know by car suspension and compression sensor. Okay, phone's accelerometer to detect sudden changes in vertical acceleration. That's great. Kalyani, could be a possibility if that happens. Great. Learners, we came across different questions or problems that currently we face as users of Uber. All right, this is what is called, learners, something kind of a product tear down. So we pick up a product, we discuss about its current features, then we go ahead and discuss some of the problems that users face. At the end, we come out with some kind of solutions as product managers what can be embedded. This is what we call a product tear down. If you're good with this, learners, quickly answer in the chat box, then we can go to the next part, because next part is something related to feedback. You good, learners?
Yeah, just give a quick yes if
Quick
you
thumbs up,
yeah,
because
thumbs up.
Aparna, what I feel that these just 5 stars ratings and feedbacks
Mhm.
do not really capture how the ride was. Let's add more, what do you say, strength and more value to the feedback mechanism. Learners, question for you. This already exists. Okay, learners? Feedback 5 stars. You can tip the driver already exists. Don't talk about this. Question for you, learners, is please give me a better feedback mechanism for a Uber ride. Go ahead.
Yeah, so now we're identifying opportunities to improve the feedback.
Feedback mechanism.
Yeah.
That could be a more detailed questionnaire, or that could be an automatic feedback based on the, what do you say, rash driving sensors told that the driving experience was not rash. I hope I hope the rider experience was good. Tell me, learners, how do you make the feedback mechanism better?
Better. So there's already a 5 star, option to choose the number of stars you would rate. What else would you add to that?
Okay, so we have Aparna, someone saying categorize survey. What is a categorized survey, Yoksari?
Open text.
Open text. Okay, great. It improves communication, duration of with specific questions. Okay, so we are saying it's specific questions. Great. What else? Good. So somewhat like a smiley experience with 5 or multiple questions. Follow up. That's a good answer, Minakshi. So you're saying that, Suryansh, we can have some kind of a follow ups. Great. What else? Personalized alerts. Okay, so we've got personalized alerts. Feature magnetic sense. Okay, categories like okay, so we can have different categories related to driver, related to car, or related to the riding experience. Reduce distraction. Okay, post ride rating and rating summary. All right, learners, see, now you have given a good feedback. Quite quick question for you. How many times in a month, let's say, do you use these rides? Let's say I use Uber maybe once or twice a month. Let's say Nathan uses Uber every day to go to work. So go ahead, tell me, how many times do you use Uber, sorry, let's say Lyft, Rapido in a month? Just a rough estimate. 2 to 4 times a month, okay? 10 to 15 days a month, once or twice, okay? Go ahead. Usually to airports, okay? Anyone else? 15 times, okay, approximately. Anyone else? Twice a year, okay. Now, Let's say today, Samyak says that, Suryansh, I need to have a secondary source of income. Okay, Samyak, you decide that, Suryansh, let me have a secondary source of income. I'll hire a driver and I'll put that car in Uber so that, I keep getting some kind of what do you say, daily income apart from my job. All right, Samyak, are you good with this scenario? Same thing Yogsari also does. Yogsari sees Samyak is doing pretty well. He's getting more money. Apart from salary, he's just sleeping at night and the driver drives at night. He's making money. Yogsari also does this. Kalyani also does this. Seeing this, Nathan also starts doing this in California. Okay. Now, what happens? Sometimes when, let's say, our friend Riaz or let's say Geeta will book a cab, so sometimes they'll get a cab from Samyak. Sometimes they will get a cab from me. Sometimes they'll get a cab from Minakshi, whomsoever has put a cab. So maybe every time she gets a different cab, whenever she will like to go to her work or go to the airport. Now, here comes another tricky and question part. My dear product managers, every time there is a new cab, there is no standardization of cabs in India. So you can have EV, you can have multiple options of a cab. How do you make the ride experience of a user a personalized one? I mean, let's say I can have a preference that I would like to have only SUV. So this is one way I can get a SUV cab. That's fine. But how do you make my ride experience a personalized one when you have no control over the drivers or the car quality or the driving experience? I mean, it's not a hotel cab wherein you can ask the cab driver to bring in your economic times and you can have a nice Wi Fi in the car, which you can enjoy, which you have already told. So, how do you do and bring some kind of a personalized experience? Okay, Kalyani, survey you have done. You have taken the survey. So Nathan likes to have Bollywood, or Nathan likes to have, let's say, Coldplay. Nathan, all right, you like to hear Coldplay songs while going to work. So okay, done. So what do I do? I am the driver, and I say, hey, you know what? I hate Coldplay, and I don't keep Coldplay songs. So Nathan does not get a personalized experience. So how do you ensure that the riding experience is a personalized one? Let's see. How will you execute it? Because remember, Uber does not own any of the cabs. All right, I've written the word personalized over here. Okay, so let's see, and you've asked for preferences. Okay, register the features on cab. Okay, excellent. So someone has mentioned, Suryansh, radio and AC can be personalized. Good answer. What else? What else? The make and the model of the car that I would like to have only SUVs. Okay. All right, Samyak, they have their own because now they started and they hired drivers. Even Uber Green was, I think, started that way. Anyone else? Anyone else, learners? Excellent. So you're saying that Riaz is saying that collaborate with Spotify. Good. What else? All right. Now, let's say, do we agree that most of the cars that we use as Uber, they have music systems? Yes or no? It may be a digital one or maybe whatever it is. Samyak, here you can suggest features may or may not exist. So let's say you agree that yes, Suryansh, music system is pretty common across all cabs, and the cab driver usually plays either radio or through YouTube, right? Now, if music system is common learners, if there is an access to music system, can users have an option of controlling it with Uber app? Maybe I can have Spotify and I can play my song sitting at back with the music system in the car. Can it be done something similar to this, wherein I sit in the car? Ola Play, that's right. So, learners in India, there is a company called Ola. They did this. They launched Ola Play, wherein the person sitting at the back will have access to a screen. This particular screen, in simple words, was nothing but a pad, a Samsung pad or something, and I could control, watch movies, control music by sitting at the back. So, in this way, I could have a personalized experience of my songs, my movies, my music. Okay, now free Wi-Fi, okay, to keep the readers immersed. Learners, one last question for because still now we're discussing more of the product part. How do you make product a better one? Here's a question. As product owners, you're being asked, should Uber launch something known as Uber already has shuttle. Okay, so Uber shuttle is there, which will take you to work every morning, bring you from your office every evening. Okay, should Uber launch something called as Uber shuttle, but for school or colleges? Remember going to school in school vans, or maybe going to colleges, going to a college in local transport. So the question for you is, should Uber launch? Yes or no? Along with reason, let me know. Quick. Go ahead. Yes or no? It should launch. Okay, safety of students. It may be an issue. No, I don't want to sound bitter. Okay, give me reasons, learners. If you're saying yes, if you're saying no, give me reasons why Uber should or should not launch a shuttle for school or college. Okay, so Yogsir is saying that small business will get hampered. Higher compliance required, coming and personal connections do work with personal cab, van drivers, but they can collaborate with schools. Okay, because it will have save cost for students, parents. All right, this is one thing, learners, which I wanted to highlight that many a times as product owners, you also make business objectives change. All right, many a times you identify new user requirements, that let's say you realize that there is a market that exists for school going students, because let's say the cabs or the vans that are used these days are not safe. Many a times more people or more students are loaded along with their bags, and the drivers are not good, let's say, in taking through the school. Maybe they are rash drivers. However, something like a Uber shuttle would work better because it will have quality control and assurance. So yes, it's your decision, it's your question. Just wanted to add some kind of a business objective point with that. Okay, learners. Now just hold on. Could you quickly tell me which platform do you watch more when it comes to OTT? Netflix, Prime. What else do you look for? Aparna, we have done with one Uber product breakdown wherein we had good participation from learners. Now we'll quickly go and have a small discussion on Netflix. By the time, if any learner has any question to ask based on the discussion we had, you can ask right away.
Yeah, so we'll just take a quick pause for questions, but we're now going to move to
Okay, Hotstar, Z5, Netflix, Geo. Yeah, Aparna.
I don't think we've got questions yet. Yeah, I think Suryansh, you can take over again.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. How many of you are big fans of Netflix? Go ahead. How many of you are big fans of Netflix? And also mention the best thing that you watched on Netflix yet. Don't mention Money Heist, please. Okay, go ahead. It's getting costlier. Okay, the favorite show on Netflix that you would like to mention over here, learners. Tell me. Big Bang Theory. Okay, Pablo Escobar, Narcos, Friends. What else? What else are we looking at? Okay, learners, open Netflix and don't start watching anything. All right, please.
Yeah,
So open
we're still in
Netflix.
the webinar,
Yeah,
remember.
we're still there in the webinar, and open Netflix. Can anyone tell me, Aparna? Let's see if they, can make a wild guess.
Mhm.
When Netflix, they were choosing a word for their platform, all right, for their company. Netflix was the word which was their least preference.
Hmm.
They were not willing to use the word Netflix. Can anyone tell me why?
Anyone can think a reason.
Anyone can think of the reason?
Yeah.
Nathan,
Why
what was the
do you
name of
think?
the company that Netflix threw out of the market? Before Netflix, you had that company, which was in DVD rentals. So what was that name?
Blockbuster?
Blockbuster, right? They were targeting Blockbuster, right? Okay, I forget. Okay, Blockbuster. Now, learners, the reason they didn't want to use the word Netflix because the answer lied in the word flicks. This word was related to adult entertainment. So they thought if we use the word Netflix, it's going to go in completely different direction. But in the end, they narrowed down to this particular word. And yes, Blockbuster was the company or the leader at that time in the DVD rentals segment. Okay. Learners, here we go. I hope you had time to look at Netflix. Features of Netflix. Hurry up. One is that Suryansh, they have got a brilliant recommendation engine. Great. What else? What else? Tell me more features about Netflix. Games. Good. Now they've introduced even games. Okay. What else? Bets. Features. Features, Samyak. UI is okay. So I'll take UI, UX also good. Okay. What else? Okay, so they're
Feature
saying top 10 in your country. They're showing reality shows. They're
easy
showing
to
offline
navigate.
downloads. Yes, Aparna, go ahead.
Easy to navigate, someone says.
Easy to navigate.
Okay.
That's good. Personalized profiles. Okay. True crime dramas. Okay. Okay. What else? What else features are there? Offline streaming, offline downloads, easy to navigate, suggestions or recommendation engines. Great. What else, learners? What else have we got covering Netflix? Exclusive Netflix. Okay, something for
Separate
exclusive. Okay.
accounts for children.
Separate accounts of children. That's a good answer. Separate accounts of children. Multiple user personas. Okay, what else? What else are we getting, learners based on previous shows or exclusive shows? Great. Any other feature anyone would like to recommend for Netflix? That's Riyansh. This is also something that exists on Netflix.
I think we've already got parental
Notif
controls, but yeah,
Yes, so we've got notifications, we have got parental controls. Now learners, here we go with the next small question for you all. I know Netflix has got an amazing UI UX while you're watching anything. Plus, Netflix has got a very nice theme as well and maybe good collection of content to watch. But as anything that we use, it will have problems, right? Go ahead, start telling me the problems that you face while using Netflix. One problem is that difficulty to decide what to watch. What else? Costly. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Pricing. Okay, pricing costly. Done. What else? Addictive. Okay, so you're saying that Suryansh, it's highly addictive. What else are we looking at? The cost is done. Problems that you face
think
using
about
Netflix.
problems when you face
Not
or that you face when
censored.
you use it. Yeah.
Okay,
When you
not
use the app.
censored. Good. Nothing. So Samek is saying that there's no problem that I face. Okay.
Quick and simple. Okay. Okay. Also, is that a problem, Ritesh? User-generated content you think is a
Cannot find cannot watch with a friend. Great. So you're saying
okay?
watch with friend feature missing. Okay. Content can be bad and ratings are not
Ratings are
genuine.
not
Very
genuine.
good answer, Yoksiri. And that content quality and ratings. Great. Anything else?
Hmm. Anything else?
Subscription. Okay. Cost we've
Content
covered.
we've done. We've
Cost
covered
we
cost.
on
Already
cost
covered
we've
cost.
covered. Content can't access. Okay. Can't access with two systems at one time. Okay.
Password sharing is not possible.
The kind of shows it chose to cancel. What does that mean over here?
I think the ones
Auto.
that we plan to phase out and yeah.
Okay, so one problem is auto debit option. Some makes says Riyansh, every month. Maybe if I don't want to renew it for a month, but still I pay 649, right? 649 rupees, right, Samyak? Internet connection dependency. Uh, Ads are not. Do they have ads, Yoksiri, Netflix? Okay. Okay, in US they've started a separate subscription, I think, which has got ads, right, Yoksiri? I think that's what you're hinting at, right? That's right. So they recently launched a new subscription plan with ads at a lesser price, but they have not launched it in India. Okay, so let's say lack of availability of all content could be one. Thank you, learners. We've covered these multiple problems because here we go and something for you to think more. Listen to this carefully. Please help me in making Netflix recommendation engine better. See, currently what I watch before is going to decide the recommendations that I'm getting. Maybe my preferences of genre is going to drive the results from recommendation engine. Okay. But there are other ways in which recommendation engine can get better. Yogsari, that's right. Okay. I'll use AI, but elaborate more. Elaborate more. What do you mean by use of AI? User preference. Okay. So we have got user preferences taken. What else? Predictive analytics. Okay, what am I gonna watch? Okay, personalized recommendation system, that okay, watch the user history. Learners, all of this is there. Give me one way on how to make this better. I'll give you one suggestion. Consider a scenario. Let's say, Samyak, Yogsari, Nathan, Kalyani, Suryansh, we all are friends. And if, let's say, Aparna would suggest everyone to watch, let's say on Netflix, go ahead and watch Blue Angels. There's a new show that has come up. Something, Thunderbolts. It's called the Thunderbolts. Sorry. So watch Thunderbolts on Netflix. Could it be a possibility that at least one of us would go and watch and maybe come back and say, hey, you should also watch, it's worth watching? Do you believe it's a possibility that friends do discuss what they watch on different OTT platforms, and friends do take each other's suggestions and recommendations? Don't you agree? Yes or no? So, can Netflix have some kind of a recommendation in which I can see that this particular show has been watched 10 of my contacts, or 100 of my contacts have watched this particular show? You discuss with your school friends, or maybe on Netflix. Let's say Samyak just finished watching Money Heist episode, season 1, and immediately after binge watching it, he presses an option saying recommend. So the moment he presses recommend, Samyak, that recommendation of Money Heist goes to everyone whom you have identified as friends on Netflix. So if I am your friend, I'll get a notification that watch this, watch this, watch this. So in this way, I am promoting recommendation through friends. Any other way you can think of, learners? Go ahead, think of ways in which you can make option for. And okay, so liked content. Okay, neighbors also. Maybe you can say based on geographical areas. As it happens, that top 10 trending movies in India. So it can be top 10 trending movies in North India, or top 10 trending in Bangalore, or maybe Hyderabad, or whichever city you're living. Share interesting clips from any social media. Good, Minakshi. Now what's going to happen is, let's say I'm not able to decide. So the moment I open Netflix, I do have an option of running through small clips, maybe 30-second clip, 20-second clip, in which I can get some kind of an idea of what show that is all about. And then I can choose which one to go with. Okay. What else? Frequently used content, collaborative filtering. Okay, that's another good one. That lets all friends and all figure out together to collaborate. What else can be done, learners? And by the time you're thinking this, how many of you are joining from India? Go ahead, go ahead. How many of you are joining from India? Hurry up, just give me an answer in the chat box, quick. How many of you are joining from India? All right. Because you have one app in India which is called Make My Trip. I want you to open Make My Trip. If you have Make My Trip, it's well. Otherwise, quickly download it. Just open Make My Trip and click on flights and then wait for me. Learners, what you see is you open Make My Trip, click on flights and wait for me. The moment you enter a destination in two, let's say you've chosen from Delhi or from Mumbai or from Pune or Hyderabad, Bangalore, whichever place you're from. Just say, let's say you've chosen that destination, and now you select the destination in two. That's the place where you would like to go. Can anyone tell me what's the first option you are getting when you click on two? I've selected from New Delhi. Now, after selecting from New Delhi, in my destination, which says you're traveling to which city, the moment I select that, what's the first option it is showing you? Make my trip app. Okay, for someone says Detroit departure date. Okay, don't select the date, Samyak, select the destination. So if you go and say traveling to destination, the first option that you get is anywhere in India. So let's say you're not able to decide which place you would like to travel. So they have introduced a feature which says you choose anywhere in India where you would like to go. And the moment I click on anywhere to India, they give me options based on flight prices. So let's say from me, it's showing Delhi to Dehradun, Delhi to Ayodhya, Delhi to Ajmer. Based on cost, it has given me in the ascending order. Similarly, learners, can something like this happen on Netflix, wherein, let's say this morning Kalyani open, or let's say at night Kalyani would open Netflix and she's not able to decide what to watch. Now, let's kick in the AI feature. So AI would ask Kalyani a few questions. How's your mood? Okay. Next question. How much time have you got to watch? And based on these questions, what happens? We get narrowed down to just two options, and now Kalyani has to choose from from these two. So instead of going and scrolling through the entire content, Kalyani, based on the inputs that she has given to the AI engine, she has now taken up, what do you say, only two options. Now she can choose which one to watch. So in this way, we are helping Kalyani narrow down to what she has to watch. Cool mood. Okay. Any other way, learners, please help me decide what to watch. We have covered recommendation from friends. We have covered a feedback form. We have covered, let's say someone was mentioning, as per the answers we are getting, where in your previous history, use AI, predictive analysis, you mentioned. Any other way you can make people choose as per your mood. Okay, recommendation from neighbors or known people. Great. What else? What else, learners? How do you make it happen? Okay, now you say genres. Yes, I could have seven or eight preference of genres, but at a time I can watch only one, right? And as of now, based on, let's say, my mood or the time that I have, I can choose 3 hours. I'm in a happy mood and I want something relaxing. Now the genres can cover comedy, it could cover romance, it could cover, let's say, rom-com, it could cover, let's say, maybe a cartoon series. I never know. So then from those genres, specific shows can be picked up and given me as a narrowed down approach. So this is how the journey gets a little different. Okay, thank you, learners. Now we have made the recommendation engine better. We are at a situation wherein we know the problems, we've got the recommendation engine better. Now, learners, here's a question for you. Okay, Nathan, just let's have a small, question over here. Is there anyone in this world who has got free money? Do you know anyone, Nathan, who has got free
Free
money flowing?
money?
Free money, like you could go and take $100, take $500. I don't care. I've got lots of it. Do you see that
The
in?
U.S. Federal Reserve.
Oh, yes, the US Federal Reserve would do that. Jeff Bezos, okay, you're thinking. Now let's consider this scenario that, there's a person who is got this free money. So what this person is doing, technically, the person will buy, or thanks to the auto debit feature, he is buying Netflix subscription every month. And that poor fellow forgets every time to cancel it. Okay. Now, the question is, learners, he is an inactive user of Netflix. He's paying the money every month auto debit, but he's not watching anything. Therefore, he is considered an inactive user. Question for you is, how will you turn this inactive user to an active one? He's paid. Okay, he's paid money. So it's not that he's a non-paying customer. He's giving you money, but still he's not watching. How will you convert him from inactive to active? All you need to do is you just need to make him watch one show a month. That's it. Maybe 1 hour a month. If you make him or her watch, your job is done. Let's see. Send reminders or notifications. Okay, good. Restart their membership or offer him free subscription. Okay, Samyak, he's already paying you. So money is not a concern. He's already paying you. He says, take my money, but I'll still not watch. Although that's a good thing that someone is paying you for free of cost. But in long run, it's not going to work. Okay, tell him to put a halt. Sorry, Oksari, you need to make me watch. I can't. It's revenue for me. How do I ensure that person watch? Gamify. Ritesh, what do you mean by gamify? Great. So suggesting through social media. That's good, Minakshi. Maybe if you keep bombarding him with some kind of good recommendations through social media, there are high chances that he's gonna turn up and at least watch something. Okay, okay, okay. Join a group on the platform. Okay, call him, ask him, restart membership. Join a group on the platform. Okay, so let's say you continuously you're continuously trying to know his preferences, right, Yokseri? That means maybe through email or maybe through his social media preferences. Also, learners, remember one thing: whenever you download any of these platforms, you have given them complete access to anything and everything on your phone. All right. So just in case you think that Netflix does not know what you're watching on YouTube or Amazon Prime, you're wrong. So Netflix knows everything what you're doing on your phone, on your smart TV, or on your laptop, your pad. Now tell me, how do you use this information to make him an active user? Let's say this could be a possibility that Yuksari is paying for Netflix, but we're not interested in watching Netflix, spending more time on Amazon Prime, or maybe spending more time on Disney Hotstar, or maybe spending more time on any other available OTT platform. So how do you do that? How do you make use of the blackmail? Okay, okay. Create curiosity about any shows. Good. Meenakshi is saying that through social media someplace. Why don't you create some curiosity? Okay, Rajesh is saying ads. Okay, throw some ads. Uh-huh. Okay, anyone else? Turn this inactive person to active. Good. Just in KP is saying that creates some kind of a FOMO effect, wherein for some shows or some movies that are recently added, then you can have some kind of a FOMO effect that everywhere the person is seeing the same content, which makes him feel that at least I should try watching one episode. All right, learners. Great. So we've got multiple answers. We got multiple answers. Now, question for you is now we've turned the inactive users into active. We've got Netflix. Uh, let's say you being the product owner of Netflix, you need to know more on what content to add. Now we've covered the role in getting more users. But as a product manager, question for you is how do you decide what's the best content for you? Because a content team is going to bombard you with everything, and you can't put everything on the platform, right? And obviously the content team will ask you for some kind of feedback, say what kind of content you want. So tell me, how do you get the best of the best content available to users? Test runs, good. Test runs, good. Based on search criteria, okay, good. Which ones to recommend? See, when you mention AI, also elaborate on how you are trying to apply artificial intelligence. All right. Most runtime, okay. Most runtime, and then bring more shows like that. Okay, what else? Anyone else? You need to decide the best content. Feedback, recommendations. Okay, so we'll have feedback, we have recommendations. Surveys. Okay, I'll write surveys. Anyone else got better answers? What best content to use? Okay, all right, learners. So that's how learners, a product tear down looks like. You pick up a product, play around with what exactly the product does as of today, figure out some kind of problems, and see how small feature enhancements can solve those problems. This way, we figured and worked on content, on active inactive users. We worked on creating a better recommendation engine. And of course, we started discussing with what kind of problems and features Netflix has. Alright, so this was a small session that I wanted to conduct with you all for Uber and Netflix called the product teardown. From now, I think Aparna, it's over to you. You'll take over.
Yes, 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 yes. So again, quick survey from the participants here. How did you enjoy? Let us know what you learned. Maybe some key takeaways on the chat will help.
Right. Thanks, Yuksiri.
Yeah, Suryansh is still around. So if you have questions to
Yeah,
ask,
I'm still there.
yeah, so please make sure you put it on the Q&A box, and we're waiting for questions. But yeah, maybe your key takeaways. What were your key takeaways? What did you understand or learn about building great products?
Thank you, learners.
Yeah. Amazing. I think that's what summarizes it the best, Ritesh. Yes. So problem solving is the key, right? It definitely helped you get more information about these apps, yes. But it made you think like a product manager and also how you can solve problems, right? Which is great. Correct, correct, correct. Now we have another question for you on the poll. Now you all thought like a product manager today, came up with solutions to the various problems that Suryansh posed, made you think like a product manager, arrive at not exactly solutions, but workarounds for situations that can spoil the user experience, right? So a quick question for you guys is on what is that one thing that would make your journey towards becoming a product manager easier, right? So I've just launched this poll for the audience on YouTube as well, in case you are watching us and wondering which question it is. Let me just share my screen. I'm just going to share my screen now. Yes, for audience on YouTube, this was the question that I had asked on the poll. Just let us know your responses. People on Zoom can choose more than one option as well, in case you have a choice. Yes, yes. KP, if you can put that question on the Q&A box, it's a great question to ask. Just keep putting your questions. I will collate them and let Suryansh know in a while. Yes, yes. Okay, great. Great. So a lot of you feel that you need the right curriculum, you need the practical exposure that you had today. You also want live and interactive sessions, and of course, a schedule that does not interfere with your work schedule. Sorry, a study schedule that does not interfere with your work. Right. So that's pretty much what the AI-powered product management program offers. Yeah. So I'll just explain to you how this is different from anything else that you will find. Just pay attention to me for a while. I know you guys may want to ask a lot of questions because you're just fresh out of the session, but just hang on for a while we take the questions and enrollment steps as well. And remember also the giveaways that I mentioned. Yes. Request to everyone else, please use the Q&A box. So basically, the one thing that sets this program apart is that we have, we've partnered with UCSD Division of Extended Studies for this course, and you've got an advantage of having this credential on your resume. And you mentioned that you had this problem of having hands-on learning. This program helps you with exactly that. So you've got 5+ capstone projects, you've got assignments and case studies at the end of each module, and more such product teardown sessions as a part of the course. Something that we did today is also a part of the course. Okay. Now, also remember that Gen AI is everywhere, and it's also applicable to product management as well. So you will learn tools like Figma, Jira, all of these fast track that kind of implement and help you fast track your tasks as a product manager. Okay, so this is exactly how the course prepares you for Gen AI in product management, but also helps you with hands-on learning and also the amazing credential that UCSD gives you. Okay, so this is how the program is different. And of course, we've got amazing trainers like Suryansh and also other amazing trainers that train you through live sessions and help you with more such practical insights, help you with more such product teardowns like what we did today. We've also got amazing program advisors on board with who help with designing the curriculum, who help us providing the best in class for learners like you. Yes. And so we also have people who've succeeded and taken this course, achieved their career goals through this particular program. So in case you want to read their stories, you can also do that. I'll share the link to the course page in a while, and maybe you can take a look at some more journeys as well, apart from Christina's and Justin's, right? And of course, what you get, how you access this course after you enroll is through a learning environment. So what happens is that you are given credentials to access learning environment where all of the curriculum that we're about to show you, along with capstone projects, assignments, any form of self-learning content, and whether it's also support, learning support in terms of reaching out to your cohort manager or asking questions, anything that's technical, anything that's associated with your learning experience as well is also available on the learning environment. And of course, towards the end, you access your certificate, right? And one more thing that you get as a part of the course is Simplylearn's Job Assist Plus. And this we've, again, partnered with Talent Inc. This is for US learners, but if you're in India, we've partnered with IM Jobs. Most of our learners here are from India. So we've got a partnership with IM Jobs here. So you get a 6-month membership of IM Jobs Pro. And then you also get help with your interviews. You also get help in refining your resume and making sure that it's top notch, and also what your employers might look at, right? So that's also an additional perk that you get as a part of joining this course. Okay, right? This is how your certificate towards the end looks like. So you've got a joint certificate from Simplylearn and UCSD Division of Extended Studies. This is how certificate looks like. Now, some of you may be interested in knowing more about the course and also the curriculum. So I'm just going to share my screen and also share the link to the course page here. And I'm just going to keep the chat box closed for a while, limited to just hosts and panelists. In case you want to still send messages, you can do that. Okay. So here you go. So just a quick update here is that the admissions, the application for the course closes on the 10th of June, and after which, we'll be kind of screening your applications, filtering out the candidates that are actually eligible, and then the admissions team reaches out to you with, a confirmation email, and then you enroll in the program, right? Yeah, so we'll just take you through the curriculum as well. There is a slide, but I would like, Suryansh, if you can just help the learners understand how the curriculum is built, how AI is really integrated in the curriculum as well.
Thank you so much, Aparna. Learners, can you hear me? I hope I am loud and clear. Yes or no?
Yeah, you are clear.
Learners, hey, you still there? Aparna, I think they are too bored with me. They're saying
No,
that
no.
enough of you. Okay, I think we've got answers and we've got learners who are there. Okay. See, learners, we realized one thing as we proceed and we have discussions with the, as far as the course outline is concerned, we realize that many of you would be coming from a non-tech background, right? Which means that certain words like PRD or certain words like, let's say, user requirements gathering, product development life cycle could be more of a jargon for you, right? It's fairly understood that, yes, this could be a possibility that, we don't understand these terms. That's the reason the way we are shaping a curriculum like this, begins, as you can see, with a very, very simple discussion, which says, hey, let's start discussing and seeing what a product manager or what is exactly a product management. As we get more friendly, as you understand, let's say on a high level, what this role is all about, then we go on and start building things, which means that we look at certain products, maybe an Apple iPhone or maybe iPod or maybe iWatch, and then we see that, hey, you know what, if this thing exists, then what could be the problem statement or why this particular thing exists. At the same time, remember the job role, as we discussed over there, of a product owner at Netflix or Uber is to get more people get their rides on time so that the company is able to achieve the business objectives of revenue and profit. This is where we come ahead with the discussion of prioritization. Let's say you successfully identified problems, you have successfully identified what a product can do. Now we go to prioritization. Learners, till now, if you see, it involves 0%, what do you say, kind of a technical aspect. It's a very, very simple understanding on how and why certain products exist, filled with examples. Okay, till now we are not even touching upon on any technical aspect. We are only understanding the why aspect, and of course, once you've understood the why, how to prioritize it. Any answer anyone can give what exactly PRD is?
Yeah. So we made
Go
you
ahead,
choose
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Yes,
manager
Apan.
answer lies in the question. So yeah, someone already said it on the chat. Yeah. PRD.
PRD. Anyone answer what PRD means?
Close. Very
Product requirement document.
yes.
Aparna, when we started working around 7, 8 years back, when the role of chat GPT or Copilot didn't even exist, we used to take almost a week's time to get a PRD done,
Yeah.
because it would involve a product manager literally sitting and typing the entire thing down.
Yes.
Now let's see if our learners are able to answer this. Today, learners, go ahead. How long it's gonna take today? Let's say you've got ChatGPT, you've got Copilot. Any idea? Any idea? You think it's gonna take this much time to get it done with ChatGPT, Copilot? Go ahead. Half a day, okay? Any other guesses? 6 hours, okay? Now, learners, remember this, that today when we're creating a new product and let's say we're building it from scratch, we personally have created PRD from ready-made templates, as someone mentioned, half a day or 3, 4 hours time, even less than that, because all the manual job of typing is done and dusted. All you have done is get the user requirements, and once those requirements are clear with you, just put it down in the Copilot tool and it's going to deliver you the entire PRD document as it is.
Yeah.
So that's how we are seeing AI transforming how we work as product managers. Don't worry, Aparna, they're not replacing our jobs. So learners, if you think that these jobs could be replaceable, that is not the concern. That's how we built ahead with getting the product requirements. And then we go ahead with, let's say, some kind of AI and tech related aspects.
Correct.
Remember, learners, no coding or what do you say, exactly what is it? Technical development, database knowledge required. We're only at the surface of applying whatever tools we have got in existence today.
Yeah.
All right, so we are working precisely on the tools part. Now, I'll not cover more on the details, which includes go to market or product success and matrix. Just remember one thing, consider Uber in mind. Go to market means if you're going to launch Uber in a new geographical location, how are you going to do that? And if you have done that, my friends, then how are you going to measure whether it was a success or whether it was a failure? That's it. Therefore, the course comes across more of an application based management role. It's not at all a coding job. All right. However, learners, there is one thing that you have to keep in mind, which is the last part mentioned over here as the product management capstone. Please remember, learners, Aparna, in the service, they mentioned that Suryansh, we don't have the adequate knowledge, right? Or maybe we don't have hands-on experience.
Hands-on experience.
This is where, learners,
Yeah.
your answer lies. So whatever you have studied across your courses, you see these capstone projects, I think some of those capstones, as far as I can remember, I made them, but I'm not sure about these ones. What happens, learners? Recently, I just completed a corporate training with Dell. Okay, and I just asked them that if someone would like to switch to a product management role, how should they do that? So all of them answered is one aspect. If you are new, so you better show some work that you have done.
Hmm.
This is where your capstone project will come in. It is, in simple words, an amalgamation of whatever you have learned as a product manager. So you're going to solve a real world problem. You're going to make a real world product using very simple available tools in the market, which are as easy as Microsoft PowerPoint, because I personally take 4 of them. All right. They're very simple and easy to understand. And you're going to use those tools to create some things to show that how you have solved the problem of Netflix or Microsoft Teams. I think
Right.
that's how your product outline goes. And the most important part of the product outline is your capstone project. Because once you are switching to a new role, you got to show something. You don't have an experience, perfectly fine. At least you have some kind of hands on project experience to first enter that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now over to you.
Yes, yes. So that's exactly how the course prepares you, along with all the tools that I mentioned earlier as well. Now, along with that, you also get to learn more of these product management tools, along with some automation tools as well. So, like I said, we ensure that you understand how you can leverage AI as a product manager,
And
right?
believe me, learners, your what do you say, 70-80% of your life as a product manager is made very easy when you're working with Copilot and ChatGPT. I
Yeah.
mean, they're gonna take over all your mundane task and reporting part, they're gonna take care, minutes of the meeting, they're gonna take care, PRD, they're gonna take care. All you need to do is use your brain
Yes.
on think of solutions to the problems. Rest all clerical work, let these tech AI tools do it for you.
Handle that for you. Absolutely. So you may be wondering what your eligibility should be. So all you need is a bachelor's degree. This is something that the admissions team will also emphasize. I'll also help you understand the enrollment steps, right? So when you select or when you express your interest here, you are contacted by a learning advisor. So they just ask you basic questions on your work experience and which undergrad degree you've completed. You need to have completed a bachelor's degree to be a part of this course. Some work experience will obviously help you understand, just probably get the context of things better. But again, it's not mandatory for you to have that. And obviously, if you have to learn in advance, you have to have the willingness to grow in your professional career as well, right? So that's all we need as eligibility and prerequisites to be a part of this course. And what exactly happens towards the end is that, of course, you have some foundation, very strong foundation in product management principles. You understand how the various metrics works, how the success metrics are defined for each product. Of course, they're different again. For each of the products that we discussed today as well, and how you can leverage AI. I think we've mentioned this enough, and you will be empowered with understanding how AI tools can help you make your job better. And of course, apply these skills in real world scenarios, help you understand how you can eventually lead product teams or build products yourself. Right. So that's exactly what you're expected to gain out of this program. Now, how do you enroll? Is so if you've already clicked on the course page, dropped your entry, that means someone will contact you. They'll kind of check whether you are eligible and then give you a payment link once they feel you are eligible to join the course. But let's say you haven't done that. What you can do is simply select a yes on the poll that I'm about to launch. So once you do that, you will be contacted by a learning advisor as well. So it's simple, just select a yes. The learning advisor will help you understand all the enrollment steps, all the details that we just mentioned. Okay, right? Now, what is the fee exactly? So if you're in the US, program fee is $3,500. And also if you're in India, close to 2 lakh Indian rupees. But what we have is the option to help you pay through easy installments. So if you're in the US, you can use these partners to pay as low as $350 per month. And if you're in India, close to 8,000 or close to 9,000 rupees a month, like with the help of our financing partners. So you can avail these options if you express a yes on the poll. And remember that your admission closes very, very soon, the 10th of June, and your cohort also starts towards the end of June, right? So make sure you take a decision quickly, because once the admission closes, it's very hard for us to accommodate you in the cohort, because there are very limited seats in the cohort as well. We want to ensure that the learning experience is not compromised, because we don't want to take too many people there, right? So all you can do is select a yes if you're still interested and want to talk to a learning advisor. Okay. If you live in the US, you can expect a call actually in the next few hours. But let's say you live in India, you can let the learning advisor know you attended this webinar and you would want to make use of the financing options as well. Okay. Now, time for giveaway number 1, basically, which is, I don't think I have it on my slide, but giveaway number 1 is your scholarship. Okay. So in case you have attended this webinar and you have already selected a yes on the poll that I've launched, you are eligible for a scholarship. And again, this percentage is decided best by the learning advisor, because like I said, there are different types of learners in different stages of their career. So the scholarship percentage is also, decided by them. So make sure you ask this question and get the scholarship that you deserve to become a part of this course, right? So that's giveaway number 1. And I'm just going to keep the poll live for a couple of more minutes. I'm just going to wrap up the session in another 5 to 10 minutes. So make sure you keep it quick. And I'm also going to take a few questions from now. So Suryansh, question for you from Divyajit, who has, from all the solutions, how companies decide which solution should they go ahead with? How
Okay,
would you decide that?
great. So who's asking this? Divijit, right?
Yes.
Now, Divijit, let's consider a scenario wherein you have different options, as we discussed for Netflix, right? For Netflix, we had multiple answers for recommendation engine. Someone said friends, someone said neighbors, someone said geographical locations. Now, what happens when you have a plethora of options available with you? All right. Obviously, you have limited resources. Okay. And you don't know which option is going to work. Can we say we are in this situation, right, Divijit? Yes or no? Are you there? I think he's there, right, Divijit? So now what happens? One way of tackling this situation is, let us launch pilot programs. We'll not launch that particular feature full-fledged. Let's take 10 users with feature number 1, 10 users with feature number 2, another 10 users with feature number 3, and let's gather their feedbacks. This is also called, in many products we see now, it's also called the beta stage, wherein now we've just launched it, we're testing it. Because once we get good feedbacks, once we get credible, user inputs, then we're gonna club all the inputs together into one launch and then make it available. This is one. Another time, let's say you've got 3 or 4 ways a certain problem can be solved. Let's consider this example. All right. Now, let's say the 4th option is the best option to get it done. All right. However, it's also the most time taking. So what you do is you launch feature or the option number 1, which is also called the low hanging fruit, to get some kind of user inputs. And the user also realizes, okay, Uber is working in this direction. They have not solved it entirely, but they are taking steps to solve this. And once you get feedback, you have got some time. So option number 2 is live. Option number 3 is live. And then once you've got credible feedbacks, you've got good amount of time, so you launch option number 4. So that's how you decide which all options to choose. Although there are many other ways, there are many other, prioritization diagrams, so on and so forth. But this is how practically things are done. All right, Devajit?
Got it. All right. So Rajshri has a question.
Yeah.
Firstly, I think I'll take a question related to her career, which I think a lot of learners would have.
Okay.
So she has 15 years of experience in one domain.
Who
and
has?
Rajshri.
Okay.
She
Okay.
has 15 years of experience in a domain. She didn't mention which one. How easy is it for her to switch from any domain, let's say, to product management?
Okay.
How
Now, that's great. Rashri, let's consider that for an example, 15 years, Rashri has an experience working in the finance sector. Let's say she has worked for a long time with Morgan Stanley, or she's working with, let's say, HSBC. Can we say, learners, do you agree with this situation that with 15 years of experience, Rashri has got credible knowledge and know-how of the finance industry? Maybe she's a part of retail loans, maybe she's a part of corporate loans, she's a part of customer relationship, she's part of investment banking. Can we say that she is having good domain knowledge of whichever industry she is working in? Yes or no, learners? Go ahead, tell me yes or no. Do you agree with this? Go ahead.
Yes,
Rajshri, can you
it
hear?
is
That's
no.
good,
You
right?
should be having a domain knowledge.
You've got domain knowledge, right? Now what happens? Let's say, uh, yeah, she says, Suryansh, it's time to become a product manager. So what she does is she starts applying. Okay. Now let's say she applies in State Bank of India. Hey, I want to become a product manager. She applies in IT companies, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, or maybe she even applies to Amazon that I want to become a product manager. Now, what's going to happen is, learners, they are going to look at Rajshree's experience in that domain. So let's say, what experience is she having? Great. So Amazon will look that, okay, if I have to launch something known as Amazon Pay, she's got good knowledge of legal, first of all.
Hmm.
Second, she's got good knowledge of working with banks. Great. Third, she's got excellent knowledge on how these things work in the back end, because in the end, the money is going to get deposited at some place. Technical work, how coding and all, she does not have to do in any case. She only has to get the job done, because she knows the business objectives, because she knows how to get things done. She comes out as a credible resource. So, learners, when you're switching to a product manager's role, it is going to be your domain knowledge that's going to help you make that shift. And let's say maybe a certification program adds on to your efforts, that okay, she wanted to make a switch, she has got knowledge of all of these tools. Great, because these are the tools that she'll be using on daily basis, so that I don't have to waste time in training her. Second, she's aware of where all these tools are used and what, oh wow, she has made some projects also. So she can be taught on how to manage tech teams now, because she knows the
Correct.
end product, how will it look like, because she's from that industry. So
Yeah,
that's how, Rajri, you do make a switch.
correct. Great. Thanks, Suryansh, for answering that in much detail. I think that applies to anyone
Yeah,
here.
that applies to any domain. So maybe let's say today
Anyone.
if Aparna decides to become a product manager and she starts applying to a marketing firm, they're gonna say, "What else? What do you know?" She says, "I'm an expert in webinars." That's great. So nothing to ask. You head a product which is a webinar product. You become the in charge of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, great. So thank you everyone for also expressing interest in the course. I'm just ending this poll here. About half of you have said that you
Mm-hmm.
would want to be contacted by a learning advisor, which is great. So please expect a call anytime tomorrow morning if you live anywhere outside of the US. But if you're in the US, then in the next couple of hours. So with this, I think time for giveaway number 2. Actually, there's a third giveaway, which I said, the certificate and the recording. But the second giveaway is probably something that you would find really interesting and also easy to kind of refer, right? So since all of you are aspiring product managers, you would want to be in the field. So what we've done is we've put together a very simple tutorial that helps you understand what product management really is, how you can build a career in this particular domain, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share this link on the chat. Remember, please make sure you bookmark this, okay, because this is exclusive to the webinar attendees. You will also receive this in the email, but make sure you bookmark this link. This is prepared by our internal team. So make sure you use this link, kind of go through the PDFs that are there, the video lessons that this particular tutorial has, and can of course help you enhance your knowledge further beyond whatever you learned in this webinar. Okay, so just give me a quick yes if you have done this, because then I can go ahead and kind of talk about the certificate and how you're going to get that. Yeah, have you saved the link, because that's important. I won't be able to share it again, and once I end the session, you will not be able to access the link. Yeah, yes. Were you able to bookmark the tutorial that I shared on the chat. Just a quick yes, everyone else, if you can, please. Samyak has already shared. Kalyani, yes. Okay, that's great. Meenakshi, okay, okay. Sada, Shivats, okay, someone else. Okay, great, great. Shalini, nice, nice. Can I copy the link? Okay, you can copy the link, paste it somewhere else. But remember, Meenakshi, because you attended this webinar, you will receive it anyway. But the reason I asked you to save it right now is just so that you don't miss it again. Thanks, Rajshri. Thanks, everyone else, for confirming. Now, time for the third giveaway, which is probably something that you've been looking forward to, is giving away the webinar certificate for you, right? So I'm just going to launch a very quick poll asking your full name. Please make sure you enter only your full name and nothing else, not your email ID, not your device name or anything else, but just your full name is enough. So you will receive a certificate that looks like this. What you can do is you can also share this certificate on any of the social platforms. Tag Suryansh and tag Simplylearn, tag Nathan. Let us know what you learned through the session, and yeah, just share your insights for other learners. Just kind of serves as a quick summary of the session as well, right? Yeah, please make sure you enter your names in the poll that I've just launched. And also people on YouTube, in case you've scanned the QR code and also, enter your details on the course page. Like I said, the same steps apply to you as well. But let's say you are, looking to get a webinar certificate as well. Please reach out to us on webinars@simplylearn.net, and we'll be able to help you with the certificate. But people on Zoom, you guys can enter your name on the poll here, which I'm going to end in the next few minutes. We're already 15 minutes past the scheduled time, so we'll have to end the session. We don't want to be keeping you waiting. Please make sure you finish the poll quickly. And any last minute questions? So Suryansh, actually Rajshri has another question here. She asks, what's the difference between a product manager and a product owner? How are the responsibilities really different?
All right, learners, it is similar to Zomato or Swiggy. So let's say some organizations would like to call it as a product manager. Some learners would like to call it as a product owner. Some companies, as become the chief product owner, they don't call it chief product manager, they call it the chief product owner. Therefore, the responsibilities and roles vary depending on the organization you join. Moreover, it could also vary if let's say you join the services sector, TCS, Accenture, Infosys. It will also vary on the team that you are joining in that organization. Let's say you're joining Accenture for an FMCG client. They may not even call you a product manager. They'll call you a product owner. If you join an organization, for example, Tally, they're going to call you first as APM, which is Associate Product Manager. So that's how the jargons vary. Roles and responsibilities of working across teams, especially development teams, remain same.
Got it. Got it. All right. Great. I think with that, we're at the end of questions as well. Thanks so much, Suryansh and Nathan, for your time today. And thanks to all the learners who also paid attention, made sure they interacted and gained the maximum from the session. It was great hosting the session. So Nathan, any final thoughts before we end today's session before I come to you, Suryansh? Nathan, you go first.
No, just thanks for Suryansh to go through that great product teardown example with Uber and Netflix. And I appreciate everybody tuning in today and participating. Great.
Thank you. What about you, Suryansh? Any parting
Sure.
thoughts that you have?
Thank you, Shah. Thank you so much, Aparna. Thanks, learners. It's been an amazing interactive session. Just wanted to tell you one thing, that what we did right now was a small example of product teardown. Now, to do the same thing, you don't need to have me all the time present over there, right? So just in case you're a budding product owner or you'd like to go and enter this role, maybe explore the course more, but at the same time, spend some time in doing what we did now for any other tech product that you know, maybe Google Meet, Gmail, WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, whatever products you use. Try doing that for those products so that you get more accustomed to the way of thinking like a product manager.
Absolutely. Great advice. Thank you, Suryansh. And so, our learners, one last thing before I end the session is once you leave the session, you'll be given a survey. So please make sure you fill in that survey. Let us know what you feel about the session. Let us also know what you would like us to cover next in that survey, right? So I'll see you guys another time. Thanks, Nathan. Thanks, Suryansh again. Bye-bye. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Bye bye.
Bye.